Passover. It's not just a week without pizza and bagels. It's a holiday filled with symbolism, storytelling, and some seriously unexpected traditions. Some Jews literally set their bread on fire, while others turn the holiday into a high-stakes matzah heist. And also, why are we drinking 4 cups of wine while leaning to the left? Let's dive into 10 of the most surprising Passover traditions, because this holiday is about way more than just dry crackers and late-night storytelling. Number 10. Burning bread. Before Passover, Jews don't just clean their homes. They go on a full-blown chametz hunt. By the way, chametz refers to any leavened grain product that has risen or fermented. Think bread, pasta, cookies, or even beer. Since the enslaved Israelites fled Egypt so quickly that their bread didn't have time to rise, today, Jews remove chametz from their homes to relive that urgency. Then comes the grand finale, burning the chametz. It's symbolic of clearing out bad habits and starting fresh. This isn't just about crumbs. It's about purging the ego, pride, and spiritual baggage that chametz represents. Not into burning food? Not to worry. Jews can sell chametz to a non-Jew in a legally binding deal facilitated by a rabbi, then buy it back after Passover. In a way, it's the ultimate spiritual decluttering, like Marie Kondo, but for your soul. We're not just tossing out bread, we're resetting, getting rid of old baggage, and making space for something new. Number 9, the matzah ransom. Imagine in the middle of your meal, everyone stops eating to find a piece of matzah. At the Seder, someone hides a piece of matzah called the Afikomen, and the kids go full detective mode to find it. But here's the twist. Once they do, they refuse to give it back without a serious reward.
When am I gonna get my dollar?
Oh yeah, your dollar.
Jewish children everywhere demand prizes, candy, or even cold, hard cash before handing it back. More than a game, it keeps kids engaged in the Seder and ensures they stay awake until the end. Eating the Afikomen is such an important part of the Seder that some say this is the only way to fulfill the mitzvah. It's the final taste of matzah for the night and a reminder that sometimes the things we value most are the ones we have to seek out for ourselves. Number 8, the salted veggie appetizer. Before the meal even starts, Jews eat karpas, usually a potato, celery, or parsley dipped in salt water. Why? Because nothing says get ready for a feast like salty veggies. It's a direct reminder of the tears of slavery, a contrast between struggle and hope. It's a reminder that freedom doesn't come without hardship, that renewal and redemption are built on the lessons of suffering. We don't just celebrate liberation. We acknowledge the pain that came before it. Growth and hardship aren't separate, they're a package deal. And just like dipping veggies into salt water, sometimes the bitter moments make the sweet ones even more meaningful. Number 7, no rice, no corn, no peanuts. Passover food restrictions are strict. No bread, no pasta, no cookies. But Ashkenazi Jews take it even further by avoiding Kitniyot, which includes rice, beans, corn, and even peanuts. Meanwhile, the Sephardic Jews are eating sushi. The medieval rabbis who banned Kitniyot worried that grains like rice and corn were often stored near wheat, leading to possible cross-contamination. To avoid any mix-ups, Ashkenazi authorities issued a blanket ban. Today, it remains one of the biggest Passover debates. Do you eat Kitniyot or not? It's a reminder of how traditions evolved based on history and geography. And if you've ever debated what's really Passover approved, congratulations. You're officially part of the centuries-old argument. Number 6, 4 cups of wine. Passover is one of the only times when kids are encouraged to drink. Kind of. Before you call Child Protective Services, don't worry. It's usually grape juice. At the Seder, everyone drinks 4 full cups of wine, representing 4 expressions of freedom in the Torah. Because freedom isn't just a single moment, it's a journey, and each cup marks a different stage of that process. Wine is a symbol of joy and abundance, reinforcing that freedom is meant to be celebrated. It's also a reminder of responsibility. True freedom isn't just about escaping oppression, but about using it to create a meaningful life. It's about embracing joy, appreciating the moment, and raising a glass to what really matters. Number 5, lean like nobility. At the Passover Seder, bad posture isn't just allowed, it's commanded. In the ancient times, only free people could recline at meals, while slaves had to sit up straight or stand. So leaning is a physical way to embody freedom, like ancient royalty. Traditionally, Jews leaned to the left while reclining on pillows or resting against chairs, mimicking how noblemen dined in ancient times. Beyond that, it's a reminder that freedom isn't only about leaving slavery and breaking chains. It's about owning your space, living with dignity, and enjoying a Seder like an ancient VIP. Number 4, the same story, but different. What other holiday rewards you for asking as many questions as possible? Every year, Jews say the exact same Passover story, but no two Seders are ever the same. The Haggadah doesn't just tell the Exodus story. It guides us through a night of questions, debates, and symbolic foods that bring the story to life. The goal isn't just to recall events, but to relive them, placing ourselves in the shoes of our ancestors. To quote the Haggadah itself, in every generation, a person must see themselves as if they personally went out of Egypt. This is one of the core ideas of the Seder, that liberation isn't just a historical event, but something we must relive and internalize. It's not just about physical freedom, but about spiritual redemption, and that each of us must find the Egypt that we are personally escaping from. Number 3, the VIP guest. Ever set a place at the table for a guest who never shows up? At the Seder, Jews do exactly that for Elijah the prophet. At a certain point in the Seder, Jews open up the front door and pour a special cup of wine for Elijah the prophet. Elijah is believed to herald the coming of the Messiah. According to tradition, he never actually died, making him the perfect candidate to return and announce redemption. Opening the door symbolizes hope, that change, salvation, and even miracles are always possible. This is another moment during the Seder that encourages the value of hospitality, symbolically welcoming guests or those in need. In some traditions, families even leave an extra seat open at the table, reinforcing the idea that no one should be left out. Because opening the door isn't just about Elijah. It's about keeping hope alive and remembering that change, redemption, and even guests can arrive when we least expect them. Number 2, the bitter sandwich. A sandwich with no bread? Only on Passover. Enter the Hillel sandwich, the only meal that somehow manages to be both dry and spicy at the same time. It consists of matzah, bitter herbs, and charoset, a sweet fruit and nut mixture. It's not exactly PB&J. The bitter herbs represent slavery, while charoset represents sweetness and freedom. Eating them together is a reminder that life is bittersweet, that freedom comes with struggles. By eating them together, we're reminded that freedom isn't just sweet, it carries the weight of the struggles that came before it. This tradition originates from the sage Hillel, who combined these elements to express how liberation and hardship are deeply intertwined. Because in life, just like in the Seder, the sweetest moments are often layered with struggle. And sometimes you have to take the bitter with the sweet, all in one bite. Number 1, lots of matzah. Passover is the only holiday where the main dish is a cracker so dry it should have its own warning label. But matzah isn't just a crunchy inconvenience, it's a contradiction. Matzah is both the bread of the affliction, eaten in slavery, and the bread of freedom, eaten as the Israelites rushed out of Egypt. It's the ultimate paradox. One food, two meanings. In slavery, it was the bare minimum for survival, while in freedom, it was the first meal of a new beginning. This duality teaches us that freedom isn't about indulgence, it's about perspective. Sometimes the simplest things hold the deepest meaning. Because sometimes life's most powerful lessons aren't found in luxury, but in simplicity. And if a dry cracker can teach us that, maybe it's worth the crumbs. So as you see, Passover isn't just about avoiding bagels. It's a holiday filled with depth, symbolism, and a little bit of weirdness. From burning bread to leaning like Roman aristocrats, every tradition is designed to make us feel the story, not just tell it. Because freedom isn't just something you talk about, it's something you experience, one surprising ritual at a time.